In this video, we're going to discuss about the modern trends in taxonomy and systematic botany, in plant morphology and taxonomy of angiosperm. Modern trends in taxonomy. Taxonomy now accepts that the morphological characters alone should not be considered in systematic classification of plants. Once upon a time, in taxonomy, based on the morphological characters alone are discussed in the classification of plants. But now, we have to discuss about all other disciplines of the plant in taxonomy that was accepted. The complete knowledge of taxonomy is possible with the principles of various disciplines. So you must know the complete knowledge of various disciplines like cytology, genetics, anatomy, physiology, geographical distribution, embryology, ecology, palynology, phenology, biochemistry, numerical taxonomy and transplant experiment. So you have the particular discipline knowledge also to study the taxonomy. These have been found to be useful in solving some of the taxonomical problems by providing additional characters. So it is easy to, by knowing these all the discipline, it is easy to solve the taxonomical problem based because you know the additional characters of a particular plant, and you can find out for the point what you are going to say. So that can be solved through these modern trends in taxonomy. It has changed the phase of classification from alpha to omega. So alpha is classical and omega is modern. Thus the new systematic has evolved into a better taxonomy. The new systematic has given a better taxonomy nowadays. Chemotaxonomy. Proteins, amino acids, nucleic acids, peptides, etc. are the most studied chemicals in the chemotaxonomy. So in plants, these are the chemicals, that is proteins, amino acids, nucleic acid, peptide, alkanes, alkalides, terpenoids, like that. No, they are the chemicals seen in the chemotaxonomy. Chemo means deals with the chemicals present in the plants. So chemotaxonomy is the scientific approach of classification of plants on the basis of their biological constitution, that is biochemical constituents. You are describing the plants, you are classifying the plants based on the biochemical substance. As proteins are more closely controlled by genes and less subjected to natural selection. So proteins, they are subject to natural selection because they are controlled by genes. It has been used at all hierarchical level of classification, starting from the rank of variety up to the rank of division in plants. So this was considered in the hierarchy level, that from the variety up to the division level in plants, they are discussing this chemotaxonomy. The chemical characters can be divided into three main groups, that is easily visible characters like starch, grain, silica. The characters detected by chemical tests like phenolics, oil, fats, waxes and proteins. So we can classify the plants based on the, that is, we know that a starch is present in the plant, starch, grains and silica. And next one, that is the chemical test. By testing the chemical, the plants have phenolics, oils, fats and waxes. And even by protein also you can classify based on the chemotaxonomy chemical characters. You can divide it into three main categories. Aims of chemotaxonomy: to develop the taxonomic characters which may improve existing system of plant classification. That is, you can know the chemical characters. With the help of the chemical characters, you can classify the plant, okay, from the existing system to new system, to improve the present day knowledge of phylogeny of the plants. So present day knowledge means of phylogeny. From this only this plant has arisen. So like that, the evolutionary based also you can able to know with the help of taxonomy. These are the two aims of chemotaxonomy. Biosystematics. Biosystematics is an experimental ecological and cytotaxonomy through which life forms are studied and their relationship are defined. So that is experimental, ecological and cytotaxonomy. So through this you can study and the relationship are defined in between the plants or the organism. The term biosystematic was introduced by Camp and Gilly in 1943. This they can ask. So many authors feel biosystematics is closer to cytogenetics, and ecology, and much importance given not to the classification but to evolution. So this biosystematics author had given more importance to cytogenetics and ecology, but they have not given to the much importance to the evolution. Aims of biosystematics: to delimit the natural occurring biotic community of the plant. So to delimit, you have to limit the biotic community of the plants. To establish the evolution of a group taxa by understanding the evolutionary and phylogenetic trends. So you have to understand the evolutionary and phylogenetic trends of a particular group of taxa. To involve any type of data gathering based on the modern concepts and not only on morphology and anatomy. So you are getting the data based on morphology and anatomy. It is not enough. You have to gather some another discipline data also, like cytology, ecology, like that. To recognize the various groups as separate biosystematic categories such as ecotypes, ecospecies, xenospecies, companion. So you have to get the separate categories data to recognize the groups. Okay. Karyotaxonomy. It deals with the nucleus, that is, it deals with the chromosomes. So chromosomes are the carriers of the genetic information. Increased knowledge about the chromosome has been used for extensive biosystematic studies and resolving many taxonomic problems. So based on the chromosomes, we know that chromosome carries the genetic character information from one generation to another generation. So we have to deal with the chromosomes. Utilization of the characters and the phenomena of cytology for explanation of taxonomic problem is known as cytotaxonomy or karyotaxonomy. So the karyotaxonomy can be known as cytotaxonomy because it deals with some of the characters related to the phenomena of cytology. The characters of chromosomes such as number, size, morphology, behavior during meiosis have been proved to be the taxonomic value. Serotaxonomy or immunotaxonomy. Systematic serology or serotaxonomy has its origin towards the end of the 12th century with the discovery of serological reactions and development of the discipline of immunology. So the serology, due to the discovery of serology reaction, and the immunology discipline was found out. So we can say the serotaxonomy as immunotaxonomy also. The classification of very similar plants by means of differences in the proteins they contain to solve the taxonomic problems is called serotaxonomy. So the similar plant differences with the protein that can be solved out by the serotaxonomy. You can solve the problems, taxonomic problems. It's called serotaxonomy. Smith in 1976 defined it is the study of the origin and properties of antisera. So serology is a study of origin and properties of antisera. This was given by Smith in 1976. They can ask in 1 mark. Importance of serotaxonomy. It determines the degree of similarity between species, genera, families, etc. by comparing the reaction of antigen from various plant taxa with antibodies raised against the antigen of a given taxa. So that is what is the importance means? It can able to find out the similarities between species, genera, families, etc. and you can raise the antigen of a given taxon. Example, the assignment of Phaseolus aries and Phaseolus minga of the genus Vigna is strongly supported by the serological evidence by Crispels and Garner. So they had given the evidence of the plant genus Vigna. So they shows the serological evidences related. Based on this, the serotaxonomy has originated and they had proved it also. Hope you understand the topic. If you have any doubts, post the doubts in the comment box. If you want to watch the video in Tamil. I had given the link in the description box. You can go and watch. Give a thumbs up, share, subscribe to Science Easy Tech channel.